Hi guys, Shelli, Pelly, Annie Parker Confidential. All right, I've got a question for you. What do you feel are 2 or 3 of the most important things for a happy marriage or a relationship? Share below, comment. I want to hear from you. Oh, happiness, whether it's life happiness or marriage happiness, which really are one and the same, is rarely about the big, huge things. It's usually accumulation of little tiny things that add up that fortunately we have control over. Okay, so today I have 15 secrets of couples who stay together forever. These 15 are based on a couple of things. One, a lot of research that I've done on my own, various studies that I've read. I took all of those points and I really compared them with my mom and dad who have been married happily for 56 years, Oliver's parents who have been married happily for 61 years. Oliver and I have been married for 17, but we've been together for 21. There was a little bit of a breakup in between. We broke off our engagement before we got married. That's a story for another time. Ultimately, all's well that ends well. Starting on number 1, I think that it's really important to talk about the foundation for a happy marriage. Do you guys remember Rob Lowe? Remember? Cute. He was actually here in San Diego and he was doing like a one-man show and I thought, well, what is he going to talk about? Okay, can I tell you, the guy is so flipping funny and entertaining. One of the questions that he got from the audience is, what was the key to a happy marriage? He's been married to his wife for a very, very long time. I want to say like 35 years. Being in the Hollywood eye, and the guy is freaking good looking. What's the key? He said it's all about the casting. So he goes, look, I just picked a good one. And I think at a fundamental level, you have to pick a person that in your heart of hearts you know is a good human being. To me, that says I can trust them, they're dependable, I have respect for them, they are a kind human being, and they have a commitment to making it work. Marry somebody a lot like you. Look, this whole opposites attract thing has been blown way out of proportion. There are areas where you can certainly balance each other out. With Oliver and I like to spend and I am not very patient. On the other hand, he is by nature a really good saver and investor, and he's incredibly patient. So we balance each other out in that realm. Sharing similar core values is, in my opinion, one of the most important things in a marriage and to having a long-term marriage work. I know that for my parents growing up, they shared a lot of the same core values. They valued a strong family unit. They valued their marriage. They valued their daughters, which is my sister and I. They valued honesty and integrity and a hard work ethic. And I know that sounds like a duh, but you know what? Not everybody values that. They just don't. So sharing similar core values is imperative to building a happy, long-lasting marriage. Except that relationships come with obligations. Look, you're not always going to want to do everything that the other person wants to do, but being in a marriage is sucking it up and saying, you know what, I know he likes to do it, so I'm going to go. I know my dad loves car shows. And you guys, I'm using my parents as an example because that's my frame of reference. Do you think my mom really likes that? No. But she goes with him and she says, well, I know your father likes it. My mom might like to go antique shopping. My dad doesn't really like to do it, but he will go because she enjoys doing it. And the same holds true with work events. Listen, you may not always want to go to a work event with him. And in those cases, what Oliver and I have done, if I have a work event and I would like him to go, I'll simply say, I would like you to go. You don't have to if you really don't want to. And I leave that choice for him. But if it's something that I really want him to come to, I will say, I really would like you to come to this one. He does the same thing with me. Now that kind of works for us, but just understanding that every once in a while you take one for the team. You'll just do something that maybe you don't particularly care to do, but you do it because you love them and you know that they want you to go. Proactively step in and take extra responsibility around the house when he or she is swamped with work. Life is all about ebbs and flows. Proactively seeing, okay, he's got a lot going on right now. Maybe he's got a big trial coming up. So because I love him, I will proactively step in and take over more things around the house that maybe he would have done because I want his life to be easier. And he does the same thing with me in return. And it's so nice when he just steps in and feeds the dogs or takes one of them to the vet or does something that I would normally do around here because he takes it off of my plate. And you know what? The level of gratefulness and appreciation that you get from the other person is worth its weight in gold. Hey guys, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. Brand new content every Tuesday and Friday for women over 40 in style, beauty, and wellness. And if you have a suggestion for something else you'd like me to talk about, please comment below. I always love hearing from you. This sounds like a duh, but laugh with each other. It kind of shows that you don't take yourself too seriously. And I think that learning to laugh together also shows that you have perspective on what's important and what's not. Even when something doesn't go your way or when something doesn't turn out the way that you planned it to, laughing together can make light of it. I remember one time, Oliver and I just went up to Santa Barbara and we were gonna stay for the weekend. It's only a few hours from here. And we were staying at, it was a brand new hotel that we wanted to try. It was supposed to be very nice, so we were excited. We got there and honestly, it really flipping sucked. Like it was really bad. So instead of becoming irritable and that with each other, we just laughed about it. It was funny. We look back on that and we're like, remember that time that we went up to Santa Barbara and like the roof was leaking and it was really expensive and the dinner came and it looked like dog food on a platter? Those things are funny. So the ability to find humor when things don't go your way or when things don't turn out, or just looking back on fun life experiences lightens the mood and it allows you to connect or reconnect with that person. Never underestimate the value of asking your partner how his or her day went. At the end of the day, when you walk through the door, even if you feel like nobody else really flipping cares if you had a nice day or not, isn't it nice when your significant other says, how was your day? And I mean, like they really care, not like, how was your day? While they're on the way out, and they care and they listen. Make it a point to initiate at least one heartfelt hug a day. We do this, and personally, I just find it so almost like recharging. One of us will usually initiate, well, okay, it's usually Oliver. He's usually the one that initiates the big hugs. You know, it's nothing big like we planned it, but it's just an opportunity to sort of reconnect. And you know that there's something about that physical connection, that oxytocin that happens when somebody that you love touches you and makes you feel cared about, that almost makes the rest of the world melt away. And it also has a way of making anything that they may have done that may have been annoying fall by the wayside. Perform little acts of kindness for each other. It's like I said, it's rarely the big things. It's usually an accumulation of all of the little tiny things that you do for each other that can make the difference between a happy, long-lasting marriage and one that erodes over time. Every morning, my dad brings my mom her coffee and her favorite bran muffin while she's doing her word games. Every Friday, Oliver washes my car and puts gas in the tank. I can't remember the last time I put gas in my own car. I know that sounds bad. I know he loves these blueberry bran muffins that I make, and so I'll whip him up a batch just because. It's little tiny things that you can do that make the other person feel appreciated. Be willing to work on it. Look, sometimes in life, things really are Instagram perfect. Other times, they're just not. If you plan on living a long life together, guess what? There are going to be times when you've got to work on things. I know when we were growing up, my mom and dad went to counseling because they needed to learn how to reconnect after my dad got back from being out at sea. He was in the military. Oliver and I have definitely had to work on things that were our own issues that we had to work our way through and find a compromise and ultimately a solution or resolution to it. Accept your share of the responsibility and seek ways to resolve and compromise so that the same issues don't just keep coming up. That is the game. Saying I love you never gets old. Don't underestimate the power of those 3 words. If you feel it, say it. And just look at how quickly his defenses come down and how quickly his heart probably melts because it feels good. Don't keep score. Look, nobody likes to feel like they're constantly being analyzed on how much are you doing versus how much am I doing. Life and a marriage is all about ebbs and flows. There are going to be times when you're doing more. There will be times when he's doing more. The most important thing is for both people to look for ways to make the other person's life easier, to make the other person's life more enjoyable, less stressful. When both people simply look for ways to make the other person's life better and more enjoyable, the result is a happier, more synergistic marriage. Big check mark next to this one because I think this one's really important. Don't put him down or make jokes at his expense, especially in front of other people. This is the worst, honestly. I'll tell you a story. We were out with another couple, and these aren't friends of ours. It was their business associates. And the husband said something to the degree of, well, you know, I like to be creative. The wife starts laughing, going, you're not creative. And we just sat there like, how mean, how rude, and how just overall mean-spirited is that? And the look in his eyes of just complete dejection, my heart felt for him. Don't do that. Look for ways to build the other person up. Man or woman, everyone wants to feel that their significant other is proud of them, that they respect them, that they see good qualities in them, things that they do well. Praise them for something exciting that they did. If he or she comes home with good news, like, hey, I closed a big deal. You can say, oh my God, congratulations. I'm so proud of you. It doesn't surprise me because you're really, really good at that. Find ways to build them up, not tear them down. It all comes back to being a freaking kind person. Just be kind. Plan fun things. This sounds like a duh, but I think a lot of people don't do it, or they start to take each other for granted, and then they just get enmeshed in the daily grind of everything. And what happens is that they stop doing things that are fun, that fuel the relationship, that make you laugh, that make you remember why you enjoy the other person. One thing that we do, well, actually Oliver does it, I can't take credit. He has dinner reservations planned for us every single Saturday for months in advance. So every week I'm thinking, ooh, I wonder where we're going to dinner this Saturday. My mom and dad do the same thing. Pizza, and they order pizza. Keep doing things that you both enjoy and make an effort to do it. Okay, one thing that the experts recommend that I kind of don't agree with is they say don't go to bed angry. Do what you want to do. Personally, if I'm really annoyed at something, I need to sleep it off, and because I need to cool off. Love each other unconditionally. Sometimes it really just is that simple. Okay guys, those are mine, but I want to know what you think. What do you think are some of the key secrets to a long, happy relationship? Comment below and I want to hear you. Until then, I shall see you in a couple days. Bye y'all.